Guys, a couple of y'all have asked me, seen the cutoff table in the background of my videos and asked me about it. It's really simple, pretty effective too. Basically, it's just a bunch of 1x6 deck boards and some 2x4s ripped to the proper height. You can see there's 2 deck boards, one on either side, and 2x4 blocks, whatever the height of your base of your chop saw stand is going to be. You can see that, alright, and then I set the table, that piece of angle, and just bolted it down in the back. And then if you're doing if you're doing 2 cuts the same, 2 or more cuts the same, I just reach up here, and once I measure and get this, I mark my piece of steel stock, and then drop my blade down and make sure that I get, exactly where I want to cut. And then I just grab this deal here, slide it up to the end, and lock it down. That way, after I cut the first one, just pull it out, slide it up, bump it to it, and cut. So we did that. I made this table when I was building them 3-tiered life jacket racks, and I had a crap load of pieces I had to duplicate, and I haven't gotten around to putting them back together yet. But I've got to build 3 of these. There's one. You can see 3 different sets of pipes there, and I had to cut 3 of those, or I've forgotten how many. I think it's 20, 30 pipes. Then there's a little piece of channel, 1/2 inch by 1 inch channel right up underneath there. And anyway, that was. But before I do that project again, I'm going to get one of those blade cutoffs instead of the abrasive, the saw blade cuts. That'll cut down my time that I'm spending doing these. In fact, I need to order that. Let me put that on my to-do list. Got my recorder right here. Go ahead and order that Evolution saw blade saw for cutting metal before the life jacket project. Alright, so that's the reason why I built the table anyway, was for that little project. The boys, that come in handy. And I don't have it bolted down. It's on a table that has wheels, but that was from a previous shop before I ended up working on dirt. And there's a reason why I still have dirt in here, because I have another project I have to do before I do that. But anyway, there you go. That's pretty simple. 2 deck boards up on top, screwed down. Like I say, just get your measurement here, and then rip your blades minus the thickness of your deck board. But one thing you are going to have, that in this piece here could be cut back to where you don't lose the ability to do your angle, but your angle has to slide. So, I mean, how far? But normally what I do with that one is, if I'm cutting an angle on a piece, I just cut a 1/2 inch longer than what I want, and then I cut that piece. Then I can adjust the bevel and cut that piece on here. That's the way I did these legs here. These legs are 10 degree. And so, what the hell? Oh, that one's cut on the bottom. It's 10 degrees on the bottom. But anyway, and either end of those, both ends of those are cut. So I cut that about a 1/2 inch longer than what I wanted, and then I set the saw bevel and cut it. So there are some drawbacks, but this is not permanently mounted. It's mounted secure enough. You can see, maybe you can see in there, it's pinched there, and it's pinched there, and it's pinched back here in the back, and those boards are up there really snug. That 2x4 is up there really snug. So if it moves at all, it'll move whenever you let the saw be sling up by itself. You'll see it, but it's not moving left and right, so you don't end up losing your zero. But if you do for some reason, it's pretty easy, because all of a sudden when you put your stock up here, you slide it forward, it'll bump that. I have had to move it forward just a little bit, once or twice, but I can fairly easily pick that saw up and get it out of there. So if I want to drop another saw in that has the same footprint, how likely would that be? I don't know. I'll let you know when the evolution gets here. So anyway, if that gives you some ideas. But I don't have it mounted on a table. The reason I don't have it mounted on a table is because normally you put something like this up against the wall, right? Well, there's my 2x72 belt grinder sitting right in the way of my fence. I think you can see the fence. Well, if I move that clamp here, which I just keep behind here, you can see there's a belt grinder too, by the way. That's all built with nothing but hand tools, skill saw, drill. That is that is a two-piece of deck board for the drive wheel. Idler wheels are skateboards, and a pair of skateboard trucks, which I wouldn't put the trucks back on there, but I definitely use the wheels and bearings. Those are ABEC 9s, but you don't need to go that extreme. Everything done on that with standard hand tools. Awesome video on that. 30 bucks is what I have in it. There's a project I just got finished with, which was taking the old sway-backed, beat-up, mushroomed anvil and put a new 1040 steel face and step on it, straightening that out. In fact, there's all the leftover coke that we had from the project. But back to this. The reason why I don't have it is just sitting on a table, so I can pull it out. So if I want to cut 20-foot stock on there, if it's small stock, I can run straight between that spring. You can see it. You know, but if it's big 2-inch square tubing, I don't fight it. I just pull that end of the table out and push this end of the table back, and then I run that 20-foot out, stick out that way. And I have a hole in my tarp back there, which leads to another part of the shop, and I just run through that hole in the tarp, and I've got a table on the back side of that, adjustable table. So if I want to cut that end of the 20-foot, it goes that way. But all right, maybe that give you guys some ideas, but I mean, that's real simple. Didn't take long to build. And you know, if you want to take chop saw off and throw that thing up against the wall somewhere, you can do that too. You know, if you have limited space in your shop and then you don't use a chop saw that much, just hang that sucker on a wall when you get done. Just drill some holes in the end of it, one there and one there. Hang that sucker up on the wall. So hope that helps somebody. Cheers.